Yeah, I think that'll be a great continuation from last week where we were talking about, ideas, summer resources from the elementary perspective. And Judy, those are great resources that you were talking about in regards to middle school, high school. And, you said the one resource you are going to touch on a little bit is Ohio Means Jobs. And I know that just sitting at the ballpark last night, I was talking with other parents and how we're all kind of irritated with where our teenagers are. They're a little stagnant at this point where they're just like not moving towards, whatever their future may be, whether it be in a trades or, a job or even college or whatever they're thinking about, College Credit Plus and all these things that maybe will help those middle school, high school students explore options out there. I was always going to be a teacher until and I am a teacher, but when I went to college freshman year, they gave me a test is like, what should you be? I'm like, well, shouldn't I know that by now? So I think those resources are going to be helpful to our teachers sharing this with their students or putting it on our summer resource page for parents to persuade their children to explore them, to maybe think a little bit more about how am I going to improve over the summer and what am I going to move towards with, exploring what I really want to do in my life.
Yeah, and related to that, and for teachers exploring what they want to do in their life, resources for summer include the resources for teachers' summer learning. The ISTE conference in New Orleans, attend face-to-face if you can, but they have great and reasonably low-cost online options. Universities like Bowling Green State University, they have their summer teacher academy that starts in June with lots of great resources on assessment and technology and other areas. And of course, NWOET's online professional development available to you free in this very list of YouTubes, and contact us for a list of other videos, all of which have professional development certificates available for them.
And Roger, you'll have those links on that page, right, on our site resource page.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we'll make sure that you have a link to both of those resources Roger was talking about, the conferences that as a teacher you can get prepared, and the online NWOET live, NWOET now, NWOET now, the one that's on our screen there, NWOET now on our YouTube channel, NWOET Tech Time. We have a wonderful document that we'll share with you guys, and on that resource page for you to be able to just click, watch, get a certificate for licensure or just for learning a new tool or engaging in some new thought process about social emotional multimedia resources, all that kind of stuff. So
and NWOET Live, which you mentioned, and that's where as individual teachers, especially for districts that have NWOET comprehensive membership, which is frankly most of the people that watch this vlog come from an NWOET comprehensive district. We will connect with you live. I mean, you can talk to us one-on-one. We can do sessions on almost any kind of classroom technology you might want. And right there, real time by Zoom or Google Meet or in person, meet with you and help you with your own personal professional development, conquer that new tech tool you've been thinking about, or solve that nagging problem is, why can't I get every student their own handout in Google Classroom? It's driving me nuts, from a short 5-minute question to a full day-long class in the NWOET Live sessions.
Yeah, so Judy, did you want to share those resources that you were talking about? We'll definitely have the links that Roger and I were talking about. So
sure. I'm always the one that seems to be promoting Info Ohio because there's so many good resources. It's very easy. But let me share my screen here with the Info Ohio homepage. And just we've gone into ones that are K-5, but I want to just click on the 9 to 12, infoohio.org, and just things I would tell students. Just the other day, I was talking with a grandparent and I was asking about her grandson who would graduate from high school this year, you know, what's he thinking about doing? And she goes, he wants to go into law enforcement. And right away, I thought of the Ohio Means Jobs and how many different things in there that you can do for going into careers. Now it's not coming up here again, but there's actually assessments that you can take or preparations for these careers that students might have for students or for job seekers, that they can look on job skills, career skills, practice your skills. And there are videos, there's tutorials. Another thing that I think students often have real good knowledge about using Google, because that's what a lot of schools are using. But when they come to knowing about, say, like Office products like Word, they're familiar with Google Docs, but there's special training tutorials for computer skills. And there's quite a few that would benefit students if they could go into an employer and say, yes, I'm pretty skilled in Photoshop or Excel. I mean, if you say Google Sheets, a lot of employers say, well, we don't use Google, we use Microsoft Office programs, Excel. Well, you can have a knowledge of that by going through the different tutorials that would help you become more skilled in that. And here's the one I'm going to make sure I send her an email with a link to the one here on law enforcement. It's prep for career certifications. It's not going to take them through everything that they might get at a community college or college as far as law enforcement, but at least to give them some background in a lot of these skills that students are interested in pursuing. You know, plumbing, we need lots of plumbers and electricians, especially. You know, if they're interested in it, let them go through this to see if they really have the skill set that would be needed to go into some of these different areas. Look, there's even teaching. So going back also for students over the summer, reading. The Gale ebooks has just been added to the Info Ohio middle school and high school. There's 70 full text ebooks. And then there's, this has been on there this last school year, 12,000 books for the high school level on classic literature, historical documents, general reference materials. Those are some resources I think that students might find useful all through Info Ohio. And there's the Ohio Means Jobs link right there in the middle there. So.
And Judy, I just got to throw in that Ohio Means Jobs link, you know, that is in partnership with Info Ohio and other statewide organizations. It's just incredible. Like assessments for anything you can think of. Yes, college readiness assessments, math readiness assessments at a variety of grade levels, military entrance, law entrance exams, the LSAT, really almost any career related skill or certificate or entrance test. Just an amazing number of them at the Ohio Means Jobs. That website can be a little bit tricky to navigate until you get into it. By the way, tip, sign up as I'm an educator, not I'm a student. If you sign up with your student, your access will be restricted. And so make sure you select educator when you're doing that sign up process to get all of the free, completely free Ohio Means Jobs features. And contact us at NWOET if you need help with that.
Yeah, I've never gone into the Chilton Library, but most everybody in Northwest Ohio, adults have cars, and there's the Chilton Library that has troubleshooting guides, videos that might tell you a little more than just a regular YouTube search on something that's happening with your auto. So I just find that's interesting. I hope that all of the career centers, I would probably need to do a little survey, make sure they know that that's available to their students and they aren't buying access separately, that it's right there for them free of charge to any Ohio student, teacher, or parent.
You know, those manuals, I have this vision of going into the library many a time to try and figure out, oh, how to fix the brakes on my car or whatever. And then, you know, photocopying the pages, hopefully that was legal, and taking them back and working my way through the process. And just, you know, a really cool resource for anybody with a bit of mechanical inclination, but you're not quite sure how to do the job, or even if you think you're sure how to do the job. Yeah, just another way to help you through your summer projects.
And I'm glad that you mentioned Google along with it, because, or YouTube. I mean, you can Google anything these days and find it, but is it credible? Is it got some kind of accountability supporting it? And Info Ohio is very good at looking their resources. I mean, there's a whole process of creating these materials to be, have a continuity to them and have a consistency of, and a reputability of them, that they're solid, good resources. And after you watch those resources, if you need a little bit more because your car is a different brand than what they were talking about, at least now you have the basis, that foundation of knowledge on that to move forward. So I like that, because you can go down this rabbit hole of awful resources on Google, just trying to figure out how to change the thread in your, what is it? The weed eater. I mean, I found like 20 different videos that were wrong, and then finally 2 hours later found the right one. Not saying that Info Ohio is going to have that, but you want to start with this structure, this foundation, and then build on that kind of knowledge. So yeah, and it's great that, Roger, you brought up that the resources from the teacher's perspective, like a lot of the Info Ohio things can be utilized from the teacher's perspective. And if you're a teacher, make sure you do log in as a teacher. And then also creating a resource page, whether it's a digital document that you email to the parents, students, or you create a website that's always up year round, and you just add these resources to it that will kind of help parents negotiate that with their children, or those students who do want to get ahead on something, have that link, have that resource at their fingertips. So whether you're using digital document through Word or Google Docs and giving them that link, or if you're creating a Google site or a Wakelet, I mean, all these things out there you can utilize to put resources in it, just so that the students can click on them and navigate them. So, I mean, there's millions of resources out there. And like Roger said, we're more than happy to meet with you via video or face-to-face if you and your colleagues want to learn some resources and have some one-on-one personal time, small group personal time with NWOET. Will help you pick out the resources that you need specific for your curriculum, not some blanket template that we use for, it's going to be personalized just to you. And we can even make those videos for you as well. I've done that where people will say, I want to know how to, like Roger had said, make a copy for all my students on my Google Classroom. It's, they're not all being able to edit their own copy. Well, we can send you a 3-minute video that'll let you know how to do that. So all these resources will be on the resource page, the link that you see on your screen right now. And of course, you can always reach out to Judy, Roger, and me, and we will email you within, pretty quickly, 24 hours. So maybe 48 hours.
24 hours. Yep.
Yeah, usually 24 hours.
Sometimes a lot less. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. And primarily, we don't let it go for more than 2-3 days. So we can answer your questions through email. We can discuss your personal needs that you have for your technology integration in your classroom. And all of those emails are going to be strategically placed at the end of this video. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll help you move forward and succeed with any technology that you are interested in. All right, guys. So thank you for your expertise, Judy, as always, in your Info Ohio, and Roger backs that up with the the logistics of the things I don't always think about. So thank you for that. And we will see you next week with another wonderful topic on integration of technology in your classroom. All right. Thank you.
See you. Have a great summer if we don't see you, but tune in. We'll have some more of these vlogs coming throughout the warm months.
Most definitely.